Hello, this is MattiAce, and this is an air-to-air combat tutorial, and I will try to focus mostly on dodging in this one. And there are many different styles of dodging, there are many different ways of doing it, and it is very important to understand that you need to be able to dodge in a way that not only are you making yourself difficult for your opponent, but you also have to be able to hit your target while doing so, otherwise that dodging is not going to do you much good.
What's the bridge?
Yeah, I know. I'm just hiding. No! What's the crown and prince and everything? Oh, fuck! I stopped shooting there because I was.
Yeah, I just had to show you that one. It almost never happens that we get behind something while doing this, but yeah. So anyway, one of the things that is quite effective in an air-to-air combat like this is to make sure that you always change direction. And it sounds simple enough, but you gotta make sure that you keep your momentum at all times, which is easy to lose while you're changing direction. And again, you have to always make sure that you keep your aim on your target, not only because you want to shoot them and damage them, but it's also in order to make your own hitbox as small as possible.
What? Not burning. Oh shit.
Oh my god.
So first off, I just want to show you my in-game settings real quick. My flight sensitivity is at 0.45 and I have an 800 DPI mouse at the moment. Now you gotta keep in mind that all these things are very personal, so just because this works for me does not in any way mean that it's the right thing for you to have. So the next thing I want to show you is something that has been brought up by quite a number of YouTubers. It's this key called throttle analog. And basically what this does is that it allows you to stop faster, and it gives you, it's a bit easier to stay in a hover mode using this key. There's a little bit of misinformation about this key. I'm not going to go into it in depth, but if you want to get some more information about what this actually does, you may want to check out Youngblood's tutorials. He has at least one good video where he focuses on this key in particular. Just make sure that you learn from a pilot, an experienced pilot, because there are some people that believe that you can do a lot more by just using this key than you actually can. But it's basically about staying in hover mode and to brake faster. So if you have landed and you just press the analog throttle key once, this is what happens. You start hovering just a meter or two above the ground. You will stay that way until you give yourself another command. I'm not sure if there is a specific difference between the three ESFs while using this key, but I use it for all three ESFs and I don't change it just because I switch from one ESF to another. So now while we are high up in the air dogfighting each other's, it might be hard to see what we are actually doing in terms of pure dodging. And basically what I'm doing mostly nowadays is this style where I'm basically changing direction after 1 or 2 seconds in order to make it hard for my opponents to get a good lead on me. And I keep holding S, and I also from time to time tap the analog throttle in order to get myself back into hover mode if I lose it. Now the thing about dodging like this is that it probably looks very, very easy, and it isn't all that hard, but you gotta keep in mind that you need to be able to keep your aim on your opponent as well, or you have to get a good lead on your opponent, because most likely when you are fighting another ESF, putting your crosshair directly on him is going to make you miss the targets. Now many times when you are playing on the live server, you're going to see reverses like this, where well, this kind of reversing really doesn't serve much more of a purpose than to show people that you have watched a tutorial about how to do the reverse maneuver. Now the thing is that if you go against a less experienced pilot than yourself, or if you're just playing better than your opponent, you can basically fly however you want and you will defeat them anyway. But this tutorial isn't about that. This tutorial is about how to just improve, and in order to get good enough to actually defeat people that today are better than you. Another thing that is really important to keep in mind is how much afterburner you are actually consuming. and how you can fly in order to actually regain afterburner fuel in less critical situations. Now every time you tap the afterburner key, I use the default, which is shift. For every tap you lose 3 bars, and if you don't let the afterburner regenerate between each tap, you can actually run out really fast. Now the thing is that if you are not taking any damage, you can actually keep staying in going in the same direction as you are going, because that means that your opponent hasn't got a good lead on you yet. But the moment you take fire, that means you need to either increase your momentum or change direction. Try to be unpredictable. It's one of the best ways to throw your opponent off. But for me, against somebody like Beku, it is almost impossible to be unpredictable, because we have done this against one another so many times. He knows my style, and he is about as good of a pilot as you could possibly be, well, at least at the release of this video. I can of course not know how much better pilots are going to be in the future.
Okay, that movement, come on. Nice clip there. Holy shit. Yeah, apparently.
Alright, cool. Well, that's... My D key didn't work at all. I have to... Always when I write on the forum, I have to fill in all the D's after I wrote the sentence.
So in this particular dogfight, I started getting a couple of good clips off of him. Right here, he's smoking, and I'm on quite high health. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna beat him this time. But he starts changing up his fly style, and the thing about Beku is that he can dodge in many different ways. He has quite a number of fairly unique flying styles that I have a really hard time hitting, and he is also very good at aiming while performing these maneuvers. Now, aside from the whole thing about just changing direction, is that I'm trying to move in the opposite direction of where my opponent's bullets are going. So if I see them going above me, I try to descend. If I see them going on the left side of me, I try to move to the right. That way I can force my opponent to lead more, and I can also maintain the momentum I already have. Because every time I need to change direction, I have to use a little bit of afterburner in order to gain some momentum that I lost from just the direction change in itself. And as I'm sure you understand by now, you really don't want to run out of afterburner in the middle of a fight like this.
Oh yeah, you got me. Nice. Well, why you didn't die there, I don't know, because that felt like...
So I hope this tutorial was helpful. There is definitely more coming, and there is definitely a lot more to air-to-air combat than what I've been covering in this video. And I'm also trying to learn more myself, especially from the pilots that I'm doing this with. And I'll try to share as much as possible of what I'm learning with those of you guys who are interested in that. If you want to see some more of dogfighting, I have a couple of videos on my channel. I'll put the links in the description below this video, so feel free to check that out as well. And yeah, I hope you will follow my channel in the future as well. So that's it. Bye for now.
Oh, bird. No. Yeah.
Yeah, this thing, this fucking tank buster, I can't stop it.
It's insane. I didn't know I was that low.
No, neither did I.
What? I'm that low? Yeah, burning.
Maybe two.